Hello and welcome to episode 7 of Haste Hobbies Cthulhu Death May Die painting series. Today we will be painting Hastur. I will be using the image from the Kickstarter as my reference for this paint scheme. Let's begin. Hastur was primed in gray and white. The bulk of the figure will be in Shyish Purple. So in a bid to make that a bit more varied, I'm dry brushing some white onto the bottom portion of the figure and the tentacles. I'm also brightening the tips of the tentacles with white. I'm also brightening the tips of the tentacles with white applied normally. After that, I'm applying Shyish Purple, thinned with some contrast medium, to the entire miniature, save the cloth, the body inside the cloth, and the tips of the tentacles. I'm applying some Volpus Pink to the tips of the tentacles and blending that a bit with the Shyish Purple. I make some corrections with white before moving on to the yellow cloth. While doing this, I found many spots I had missed with the purple or pink. Models with this many appendages have a lot of surface area, and it takes some doing to paint them from all angles. For the cloth, I'm using two contrast yellows, Nazdrag Yellow and Iyanden Yellow. That's the dark yellow and a bright yellow. I'm using the brighter yellow for the top half of the cloth and the darker yellow for the bottom half. With a bit of a blend in the middle. This part is tricky as the cloth is a large flat area and the contrast paint is liable to dry before the blending is complete. There's a bit on the back side of the model that doesn't look quite right. The giant eyes, I'm hitting with some Blood Angel's Red and blending in a bit of Shyish Purple around the edge of the eye. For the humanoid body portion, I'm applying Guilliman Flesh and Volpus Pink and mixing them on the figure. Reviewing what I've already done, it seemed like the largely Shyish Purple areas needed some interest. I knew I was going to paint the teeth a bright color, but to match the reference photo a bit more closely, I decided to use Magenta for some of the gum structure that hold in the teeth. After 2 coats of Magenta, it looked decent. To give it some depth, I used some contrast Magos Purple to shade the gums, before defining the teeth with bright Ivory. When I had finished the teeth, they struck me as a bit too bright, so I decided to tone them down with some tan. I used Contrast Skeleton Horde. I'm painting what little bit of the base remains with black and calling it a day. And this completes Hastur. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, like and subscribe. You'll find a list of products used in the description of the video below. Tune in again soon as we continue painting minis from Cthulhu Death May Die.